These are Pain Pearls, tips and hints to enhance your effectiveness as a practitioner.
I'm Dr. Richard McAmoyle, and I want to help practitioners treat chronic pain better. Okay, so let's talk about the contextual effects around language and the language that we use. Starting from the moment the patient comes in, the greeting. When I greet a patient, what I'll say to them is not anything about their pain or things. I'll usually start out with, how's your day? Because it can give me a window into understanding how they are in the moment. Are they super stressed because parking was difficult, or have they been having a really rough morning on their way in? Then that'll have an impact on how they present in the moment, which could be different than how they've been since they last saw you. If they haven't been in for a while, I'll often ask, what brings you in today, rather than asking what their problem is. So it's just a reframing rather than focusing on the negative thing, to focus on the positive. If it's a follow-up visit, I will ask about the things that they were able to do, like talking about their functional achievements during the week rather than how bad have things been. So we'll really try to move towards a positive reframing of everything. One of the reframing things that I will use is to ask them questions if they're going down a negative route, to try to get them to refocus on the things that they've achieved rather than continuing to focus on how much they can't do. Some of the other language things to think about is when you're talking about chronic pain versus calling it persistent pain. And if you start to embody some of those language differences, you can then create a different idea in your patient. There's other things like instability. You can talk about that as being altered muscle function. There's a whole list of different language that we can use that you can find online. Resources for alternatives to the language that we commonly use in our practices can be found on my website at drrichardmacamoyle.com.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's Pain Pearl.